Today I'm sharing a few tips for how to make wax seals. So let's jump in. The first thing we're going to want to pay attention to with making our wax seal is the pour. And because this is a square or rectangular stamp, we're going to try to get a pour that's more rectangular in shape. So I'm going to rest my glue gun on its stand. I'm going to tilt it forward till the nozzle is almost touching the paper. And then I'm just going to do a couple squeezes. I'm just squeezing kind of gently, but I'm trying to get a rectangle shape. So it's not a rectangle because it's wax, right? But it's not a circle either. And then I'm just going to try to center it, press down, hold, and then let go. You do want to use a little bit of pressure to make sure that the wax gets up into the impressions of the stamp. You'll know when it's cooled if the stamp comes off of the parchment paper or off of your silicone mat, and you can pull it off of your stamp. It should come off very easily. If it's sticking and not coming off well, then that means that your wax is too hot and it needs to cool a little bit more. So let's do one more to talk about a few more things. So again, we're leaning close to the parchment paper, and really it's about one full squeeze, but I'm just moving my gun around as I'm going. And then we want to get it centered. If it's hard for you to get your stamp centered, take off the handle and just do it like this. And then press and hold. The square ones you're going to notice are a little bit harder to get even on all sides. There's going to be a little bit, like you can see there's a little bit of a dip in here. There's a little bit of irregularity because it's a rectangle stamp, and based on the design, it makes the wax move in different ways. So it's going to end up something like this where you have some excess on all the sides. If you're having trouble getting your stamp centered, where you're getting more wax on one side than the other, what I like to do is take my handle off of my stamp. So I'll take that off, and then let's do another one. So we'll again just do a rectangle pour the best we can. It's not going to be a total rectangle, but we're not trying to make it round either. And then I'm just going to press it in. And for me, it helps to kind of have a view looking directly down at it versus to the side can kind of help you get it centered as well. And again, to know it's ready, if it pulls up off of the parchment paper, then it's usually cooled enough. And this one, you can see it's not coming off as easily, and that's because my stamp is a little bit warm. This is my third wax seal. I have these two that I made and now this one. So my stamp is a little warm. So it is coming off, but something that I could do now is either let this cool for a while before I make more, or put it on like an ice pack to keep it to cool it down a little bit. So those are a few of my tips for just making wax seals in general. Depending on what shape you have, you'll do a matching pour. So if you have a circular stamp, so if you have a circle like this, you'd pour in a circle versus a rectangle or an oval. You kind of do the pour, match the pour to the shape. So let me know if you have any questions in the comments, and I'm happy to answer them.